Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we study peace psychology, definitions, scope and impact. So let me start. Although peace psychology has deep roots in philosophy, peace psychology did not take shape as a current area of interest until the second half of the 20th century. Since then the growth has been remarkable. In peace psychology, a comprehensive introduction, Bulumberg 2007, examined trends incidents to peace psychology using the PsycInfo database and found a large significant increase in citation between the 1970s and 1980s and again after 1990s. These increases were in absolute terms as well as in proportion to the growing number of records. In the current article, some definitions of peace psychology that attempt to delineate the scope of these emerging fields are offered. Then peace psychology is situated in various geohistorical contexts around the world. And finally, some contributions of peace psychology to peace will be discussed. Definition and scope of peace psychology. Despite the growth in literature on peace psychology, few definitions of peace psychology has been advanced in order to provide a framework for the book Peace, Conflict and Violence, Peace Psychology for the 21st century. The following working definitions was offered. Peace psychology seeks to develop theories and practice aimed at the prevention and mitigation of direct and structural violence. Framed positively, peace psychology promotes the non-violent management of conflict and the pursuit of social justice, what we refer to as peacemaking and peace building, respectively. Christie, Wagner, and Winter 2001, page 7. The definition recognizes the realities of the post-Cold War era, in which the prevention of nuclear war between the superpowers was no longer the focal concern. Instead, the problem of structural violence, which kills people slowly through the deprivation of human needs, assumed much greater importance as peace psychologists in the majority world, i.e., the developing part of the world that comprised two-thirds of the world, began to assert their interest and concern. Accordingly, a 2x2 matrix was proposed that organized topic in the book and captured some of the intellectual current in peace psychology around the world. Direct structural violence, direct violence, structural violence, peace, direct peace, who is peacemaking, structural peace building. A similar definition of peace psychology was offered by McNair 2003. Peace psychology, the study of mental process and behavior that lead to violence, prevent violence, and facilitate non-violence, as well as promoting fairness, respect, and dignity for all, for the purpose of making violence a less likely occurrence and helping to heal its psychological effects. Moreover, in the post-Cold War period, three major themes could be discerned in peace psychology, scholarship, and activism around the world. A more differentiated perspective on the meaning and type of violence, i.e., structural, episodic, cultural. Second, the systems views that appreciated the reciprocal links between structurally violent conditions and episodes of violence. And third, greater sensitivity to the impact of geohistorical context on the manifestations of peace psychology around the world, Christie 2006. In short, as the Cold War would down, it became increasingly clear the geohistorical context had a powerful influence on the meaning and types of peace that were most focal. The importance of geohistorical context is some broad trends. Western geohistorical context. In the West, some of the earlier concepts in peace psychology appeared during the Cold War, a period when a laboratory experiment in psychology on conflict and cooperation in two persons games mirrored the bipolar power configuration in the world. Osgood's GRT formation also fit neatly with a bipolar power arrangement and was widely cited as a method of drawing down tensions between groups. See peace psychology contributions from North America. GRIT proposed that each side could engage in graduate reciprocation in tension reduction, a reverse arms race in a sense. There is not much evidence that GRIT was ever applied to the US Soviet relationship, but there was a tantalizing resemblance to actions Khrushchev and Kelly undertook that reduced tension and result in the limited test ban treaty, which restricted nuclear testing to underground. Also, during the Cold War, a number of arms control treaties were negotiated and the field of conflict resolution emerged. As the Cold War would down, the dismembering of Yugoslavia challenged peace psychologists to more deeply understand geohistorical and motivational variables that could account for such devastating and widespread violence. Psychologists were dispatched in record numbers in an effort to deal with trauma. Other conflicts, such as the one between the loyalistic Protestant majority and the Republican Catholic minority in Northern Ireland, also took center stage as researchers and practitioners applied social categorization theory to the political religious division in North Ireland, studied the impact of the conflict on the mental health of children and adults, and examined the prospects of reconciliations. CP psychology contribution from Europe. In the aftermath of 9/11, much of the growth in scholarship was anti-terrorism as scholars sought to understand the cues and consequences of terrorism. See terrorist psychology of terrorism, psychology of Asian geohistorical context. Will the treating of nuclear annihilation draw much of the content of peace psychology in the West during the Cold War? The dominant peace narratives in much of Asia, and particularly South and Southeast Asia, revolved around the colonial vestiges of occupations. For example, the violent episodes between Hindus and Muslims find their origins in the British partitions of India. The British policy of divide and conquer, in which certain ethnic groups were favored over others, continues to find expressions in communal divisions in Malaysia and Indonesia. Moreover, when the colonial master withdrew, the vacuum in political space was often filled by authoritarian rules. Hence, collective historical memories in much of Asia have been shaped by foreign occupations and dictatorships. Not surprisingly, the problem of structural violence as reflected in ambiguous difference in wealth and power often the focal concern. In historical context where structural violence is focal, the term peace can be viewed with suspicions, implying a peace-first orientation toward the status quo. What matters most are social justice movements, i.e., structural peace building that ratchet up inter-group tensions and prays for a more equitable distribution of material and non-material resources. Montiel and Now 2009. In the post-Cold War world, reactions against authoritarian rule are manifested in collective narratives that fuel non-violent democratization movement through a large swath of Asia, including East Timor, Indonesia, Nepal, the Philippines, South Korea, Taiwan, and Thailand. In contrast to the world, the analysis of people power movements tend to emphasize religious over scholar leadership, collectivism over individualism, and shared subjectivist rather than objective approaches. Montiel and New 2009. CP psychology contributes from Asia. In short, the focal concern, manifestations of peace, and contributions of peace psychologists in Asia are animated by geohistorical context. Latin American geohistorical context. Latin America has given rise to liberation movement that seeks to redress the problem of structural violence. Liberation psychology is typically traced to the contributions of Ignacio Martin Barro, a social psychologist and Jesuit priest for El Salvador. See liberation psychology. Not unlike peace psychology in Asia, the liberation approach does not allow sit comfortably with Western psychology because the tenets of liberation psychology challenge the Western approach to knowledge generation, which embrace an individualistic, deconstructualized, and objective view of the the other. Moreover, liberation psychology shifts emphasis from the practice of helping individuals adjust to difficult life conditions to praxis, which frames problems with the context of pressures and opposed and persist theory development and applications that directly improve the well-being of the oppressed. From the perspective of liberation psychologists, change happens on the personal and political levels, and everyone is affected by the liberation process. Even the oppressor benefits by becoming emancipated from a sense of alienation. See problemizations, citations. Liberation psychology also challenges peace psychology's comfort with the technology of conflict management, an approach to human relations that can be powerful tool of the setup quo. Reducing tension in conflictual relationships will conveniently leaving the social order contest clearly. Liberation psychology nudes peace psychology to shift to emphasize from tension reducing to tension inducing, and from a reliance on the power of top-down approaches to bottom-up movements for social change. Montero and Son 2009. Other geohistorical context, some gaps. Africa is vast and varied content comparison of about 53 states and thousands of ethnic groups. There has not been a thoroughgoing history of the contributions of Africa to peace psychology. Through some documentations is beginning of note are indigenous a traditional approach to peace, the role of women and peace builders, and efforts to work at intergroup reconciliation. Peace psychology contribution for Africa, Truth and Reconciliations Commission, psychologist impact of transitional justice system and psychology, and there are also a growing literature of the contributions of Australia to peace psychology, a history that overlapped with Western concern when the threat of nuclear war was silent, but more recently has focused on structural violence in relation to Aboriginal people and recent wave of immigrants. In the context, Australian peace psychologists have elaborated on and applied the concept of stereotype prejudice and discrimination to the fastest growing emergent groups. Sudanese, Afghans and Iraqis, Brethren and Belvin in press. Finally, at present, there is a lack of scholars in peace psychology from China, though collaborative efforts are beginning to emerge. Has peace psychology made a difference? The emerge of people psychology as an area of interest with its own journal book series, international conferences, undergraduate course and graduate specialties has provided a measure of legitimacy for many psychologists who subscribe to a scholar activism model in their pursuit of peace and social justice. But overall, it is probably fair to say that psychologists, particularly in the first half of the 20th century, contribute more to the war fighting capability of the United States than to peace. See, peace psychology contribution from the North America. Since then, psychologists have contributed to peace in a number of ways. Behavioral scientists play a key role in the 1951 Supreme Court decision to integrate graduate schools in the United States when scientists offered testimony that segregation was psychologically damaging. Psychologists also have driven the Bandura, a social cognitive theory, as an intellectual scaffolding to produce serious social dramas that have promoted social justice through demonstrable change in literacy, gender equality, HIV prevention, and family planning. Ignacio Martin Barro, a social psychologist and justice persist from El Salvador, inspired the liberation psychology movement that swept across Latin America in the 1980s and continues to summon community based on culturally grounded and emancipatory agendas all over the world. Herbert Kalman's track Second Diplomacy or problem solving workshops helped create a political atmosphere and ideas that were building blocks for the Oslo arrangements, i.e., the two-state Israel-Palestinian solution in 1993. Irving Jensen's concept of group thinking has made its way into the popular media and is regarded by current members of the executive branch of the US government as an undesirable decision-making style. Hamid Malik and colleges at University of Indonesia used a grassroots and unofficial diplomacy approach to bring Christians and Muslim communities together in a social movement called Baki B, Reconciliations. repressing violence with the cooperative pursuit of common goals. Anna Anderson, former coordinator of Psychologists for Social Responsibilities, provides psychological information testimony to the International Criminal Court (ICC) in The Hague, which contribute to the court a decision to increase physical protection and psychological support for victims of rape who testified before the ICC. Finally, Baden Hammer and colleagues in South Africa established Kulumbani Speak Out, a support and self-help group for victims of political violence in South Africa. A group that turned to activism and was instrumental in having the sacrilege clause removed from the first draft of the Truth and Reconciliation Commissions Act. If the initial draft has been accepted, RTRC hearing would have been behind closed doors and engagement that was unacceptable to most victims. These are many other contributions that continue to accumulate, attest to the value and promise of peace psychologists. See also conscientizations, liberal psychology, peace psychology in Australia, peace psychology contribution for Africa, peace psychology contribution from Asia, peace psychology contribution from Europe, peace psychology contribution from North America, problematization, terrorism, psychology of terrorist, psychology of transnational justice systems, psychology and truth and reconciliation commissions, psychological impact of. So thank you everyone. Please do comment, share and subscribe the channel. Thank you.